start recording this call. Once again, I can see there are about 8 participants, but I hope the number will grow as time permits and others can join maybe later on, or they will just run on their own after this recording. So mostly what I want us to do today is mostly to understand the process of analyzing information using R. I'll focus on how we can input the information from a spreadsheet such as Excel, and then we can try to do some descriptive statistics as well as some few graphs before, as time permits. Then next week, I will concentrate on handling missing data, also how we can do filter and how we can select specific data sets depending on our conditions. Up to this time, I'm hoping that everyone has R and R Studio installed in their machine, and they will be able to follow up. I just recently sent a dataset via WhatsApp. I don't know how many of you have a chance to look at the WhatsApp group that we are. I should choose that most of us are on. If we are not on that WhatsApp group, I will share the link to the Dropbox just here on Zoom, so that you can get the information from our Dropbox file, especially for those that we will be working on today, in making sure we have everything so that we follow along with the lesson. So I will start sharing my screen, and then we can start getting a deep dive of the lesson. So allow me to share my screen. So as you can see, I don't know if you are able to see the screen. Let's hope you are able to see the screen. I am in the R installation and training folder in the Dropbox. So I added a folder called Intro to Class 2 Materials, which I have just shared on this chart, where you can access those kind of materials. Especially in here, they are a data set from an Excel, which is written food, and then there is a data set from a CSV format, which is written population, and then there is a data set that was coded in SPSS, and it is written wash. So there are three data sets. What I wanted us to have a gist of it was to understand how to get data from file, SPSS file, and how we can get data from a file that is a CSV, and how we can get data from a file that is an Excel file. In the next lessons, we will also explore how we can get data from Stata or SAS and other particular software. But for a start, I think these will do our work today. So let me ask each one of us to open their R Studio. So please open your R Studio so that we can we can have it and start the lesson. So mine is already open. I hope everyone can open their R Studio. So I hope you are able to see my my screen. Right. So you remember last time we created the folder on the desktop, and we located or we had to set that as our directory where we can always be referring our information from. So that's what we are going to do today. Now, today I want to explore a different way of how you can set up, instead of going to session, setting working directory, then choose directory. Today we will use a code. So I will start with set the work D, it will come as work directory. Then I will go to my folder on the desktop. The folder is called intro to R, but you can do it the same wherever you had to set that. So I'll right click, I'll say get info. If you are using Windows, you click on the folder, and then if you click on the folder, you can say get, or you can copy the address on top there, or you can just click on properties. Then you will find a section where it is written location, and then you can copy that. But the best way you can do is just click on the folder. Apologies that I'm using Mac for some reasons. So you can copy this one and then copy that and then put in, so if I go this one, I'll just say, okay, get to here and then get info for this one, and then I'll copy that and then put back here on. I hope you know how to copy path. So this is how it will look. If you have any challenge on doing that, we can do the usual way. So the usual way will be from here, we go to session, then just go to working directory, choose directory, and then if you click there, then this one will open, you go to the desktop, and then you go to intro to R, and then you say open. So it will come down here, and then you can copy this one and then put it there. So if you do that, it will also work the same. If you learn this one, it should be able to learn. Or you can do the other process I was talking about. Whichever is easier for you, you will do that one. So as I said last time, that a hash shows that you are commenting. So I would say we need to set our working directory. Meaning to say everything that we will be doing will be saved in this particular folder. So once we do that, you can question, then we need to get the data. So get the data or import the data, that's a good terminology, import the data. But before we import the data, we have to install what are known as packages. So for some who went through the PowerPoint presentation that I shared last time, if you haven't gone through it, I think I'll just go it quickly. So as I said, R is built on around packages where there are a lot of packages you can get online which will help your life to be easy. So packages are more of a set of commands that were written by other people or programmers around the world, and they contribute a lot in making things easier in R. So every time you think of doing many things, what first of all should come to your mind is that what kind of package can I call or can I download from the cloud or from the internet and install that particular package so that I have the data in. Now, how do we tell that this would be sort of the package that I would need. For example, if I want to import data, I will go to File on top there, and then say import data. If I say import data, then I will say, okay, well, I need this data from Excel. If I click Excel, then you get something like this, where it will prompt you to get where the data set is from. And then here you have where it's written code preview. You have library, and then you have read XL. So as you have read XL in here, that means you will need that particular package in order to import data from Excel. If you want to import data from SPSS as well, if you click here, then there will come a library called Haven. So you also need to install this library. How do we install the library? So if you just type 3 letters or 4, install packages, and then if you hit enter, it will go there, and then we had a package called read XL. So you find that since mine is already installed, that's why it's appearing like read XL there. But if that package is not installed for you, you're supposed to get connected to the internet in order for you to access that package. Once it has been installed, that means you'll no longer install that package again. The only thing you can do is just updating until perhaps you change the machine, then that can like require you to install the package. So if I run this command, and if you remember last time when I was talking about running the command, I said you can just press Control Enter on your machine. So in my context here, it will prompt say, okay, well, you need just to be updating because mine is already installed. And it will ask, do you want to restart R? If I say yes, it will give me, all right, so it will give me here like more of an error, but it will start like down there. It will be, so you need supposed to get connected to the internet, and then it will download this particular package and then install it, and then it will also tell you that the downloaded binary package are in this particular folder. So once that has been done, then you are supposed to call the library on, like to get it on. So how do we get the library on? And so, I mean the package on, sorry. So you get to just write library, and then you get to name the name of the package, read XL, then you pick that one, and then you run this command. So once you do that, then you'll be able to now get your data set. Otherwise, the data set cannot get into R since it is in Excel format. Similarly, we will need to install a package called Haven, because we saw that when we want to import data from SPSS or other format other than the R format, you have to have to call a package. So in this context, we saw that Haven is needed. So if I click that one, then I run, then you find that it will also run down there. And then I have to call this package again to be in my system. So how do I call the package? You have to write a library. Now, I no longer need to install this again. What do I do now? I just comment it because I don't need it again. But then, to install again. But for the library one, I'll need it because every time I want to get the data, I will need to call the package by using library. So library is a command for calling that package. When we say package, we mean set of function that helps the R to get the information in a readable format. So if the information is in Excel, you can get them in a readable format into R by coding this package called readxl. Similarly, if the information is in SPSS, data, SAS, and whatever software of analysis might be, you have to call a package called Harvey. So once you do that, then you can go and say, okay, well, what do I do now? So I need an Excel file. If I go to up there like I demonstrated before, so okay, which file now do I need to get? So I'm trying to demonstrate all of the two, the code, using code as well as using a drop-down menu. But from once we just demonstrate one, then I'll be just using code like for the rest of the installation. I mean, for the rest of the importing the data. So for example, here, I will need to get an Excel sheet, which is called food, the one that I said I have just shared with you. So once I click here, it will show down here. So you need to get, and then it will also show you how that data looks like. So this data is from, I got this data from, forgotten, Kenya or Rwanda, one of sites that sent me this data for analysis. I was helping a friend, so I have just removed some of the variables that were there. But the name of the district, I think it's tells me that this one is either Rwanda or Kenya, I've forgotten which one. So yeah, once you do that, you can import the data using this import, or here it tells you to say which ones, how do you import this data. So you can click this import, or you can just type, I need this data called food. Then you remember the pipe I talked about last week. So I say, okay, read an Excel file. So if I just type read, then there will be a lot of list. Then read an Excel file called what? So the Excel file is called food, but it has an extension called XL. I have forgotten the extension. So how do we get the extension? If we go to here, it's XLSX. So that's it, LX. That's how the format of Excel appears. So I can highlight it, or if my case is still then, I'll just press Command, then Enter. And then this data will come here. Food, it has 222 observation and has 10 variables. Before I go further, is there any question, or someone is lost along the way? I want us to be moving together. And if you have any problem installing the packages, the two packages, the readxl and the Harvey package, because you have to get connected to the internet, your computer should be connected to the internet. It will not take much, as you can see. The readxl is only 1.6 MB, and the Harvey one is only 1.1 MB. So it shouldn't take that much to do the inputting. So let me know if someone is stuck, then I can always go through the process again. All right, silence means two things. Either everything is fine, or someone is completely stuck, such that he or she is afraid, saying, hey, how do we go?
I'm really lost.
Okay, perfect. Don't worry, this is why we are all here. So I hope you have your RStudio open and then it is connected to the computer. I mean to the internet rather. If that is the case, then as I said, first of all, you need to set a working directory. So I sent dataset on WhatsApp, on our WhatsApp group. So download that dataset and then put all the 3 files in a folder you created in the first training, or you can create it today also. It shouldn't matter. So once you download those datasets and put them in the folder, then I was saying that for you to get dataset from an Excel file or an SPSS format or whatever format into our format, you have to use what are known as packages. So there are certain packages that, that are meant for importing data into R. And the most 2 common packages are readxl for importing data from Excel. And then there is also a package called Haven for importing data from, say, Stata or SPSS or SAS. But you have, these packages do not come like with R. You have to install them from the internet. So how do you install? You just type install, then the install will come, like install.packages, and then you hit enter to get that. And then you put 2 inverted commas and write read XL. So once you read XL, that means we want to use this package to import data from an Excel file. But as I said, so if I'll try to disable my Wi-Fi and then try to run this and see what will happen. So it will complain. It will complain. So it will try to get connected to the internet, but since I am not, it will try to download it from the internet, but since I'm not connected, it cannot access. So this one cannot be done unless I'm connected to the internet. Apologies, everyone. It looks like I disconnected to my own internet and things are not ticking. I thought I'm on the other machine. I was trying to demonstrate how if you are not connected, how things go. So yeah, it will not. There will be nothing that will be done as such. And what you see is you see this list like of trying to connect to the internet, but it's not connecting. So yeah, that's how it's processed. So as I said, you're supposed to be connected to the internet. Now, once you download these 2 packages, then you have to call the package into use. How do we call the package? We use library. So if you type library and then the package inside, then it should be able to read the file. Why is it reading direct here? It's because I had to set my working directory to this folder where my file called food is stored. So if I go to my folder, on the desktop called R, intro to R, I'll find a folder called food here. So it's only when I have this folder called food, I'll be able to get it in here. Otherwise, it will not work. So, and then I also need to install a package called Haven, and then I will call the library code Haven. And so I can also go to import, then it's an SPSS file, and then I browse to where my file is located. It's called SPS wash. It's called wash. If I hit open, it will also be the same here. Or if I can just import this one. So if I click import, I will get it as well here. Or else I can type it here. Unfortunately, my Zoom is telling me that I'm running out of time. A 3-minute call is meant for 40 minutes. So I don't know. I'm remaining with only about 10 minutes. Maybe I can create another one and then we can all switch to there. Apologies for that. Until we get a funding one day, we'll be able to, to extend for more hours on Zoom. So just note, I'll create a link like right now for a new meeting, and then I'll push it on our WhatsApp group so you can just click on it and then you can join on that in case this one runs out. So I am just doing that right now, and then we all will be able all to join from that particular, which will start at which will start at 5. Can put it at 4, maybe 4:45. Unfortunately, it cannot allow me to 4:45. It only allows me to 5. So strange. Okay, so let's finalize what we have at the moment, and then for the other ones, we can see what we do about it. So this is I was saying that you can also do the same wash, and then I'll say, okay, get this data set or lead. This is an SPSS, then I'll need to get lead SAV because the SPSS format file is called SAV. And then this is labeled wash. That's the data set is labeled wash.sav. .sav is an extension. So for this one, I can clear them by this little brush here, clear objects from the workspace. So if I do that, it will complain. I'll just say yes. And then it's cleared. And then I'll come here and I'll run this command called food. And then it says it cannot find read Excel. And so, well, it cannot find read Excel. What do? I reload the library code read Excel and reload the library code Haven, and then now it picks up the read Excel. My data set is in, and then read wash, my also data set is in. Then the last one will be to get a data set from a CSV file, which is a text file. And here we also need to import a data set called readr. Now, I'm not going to do that for the sake of time, but you can always do that. If you have a problem, then just let me know. I'll be happy to answer that. So we have the data set. How do we view the data set? How do we see what's inside this data set? So you write a command. I'll put comments here to view data set. So I'll write view, then a view come, and then I want to view data code what? Food. And then I run this command, then this one will take me to where the data set is. So if I try to increase the font, you will see here, so this is the group, this is the district, at least own one cow. This was the income in 2012. This was the number of acres one person had. If he was owning a solar, number of bags that were in storage, amount of money in savings, number of bags in storage in 2013, and amount of money in savings. Similarly, we can view the wash one. So I will write view, then wash data comes in, and then I will have here as well, household identification, gender respondent, age respondent, education level, and etc. as we go. So this is how we input the data. So for those of you who can join, I have just created the 30 minutes call from 5 to 5:30, just to compensate on the minutes we don't have, I mean, for the minutes that we will lose from this call, since it was scheduled 1 hour. I have shared, I will just be sharing them now on our WhatsApp group. So you can join there in case this one usually end before we accomplish what we wanted to do today. So that's about importing data into R. I don't know at this time, I think it was Arune who had problems. Are you still having problems? Hello, can you hear me? I think she's gone. So, but that's what is like importing data into. Now, I have just shared the minutes, the new link to our Zoom meeting. Until we find someone who can help that we can use his or her account if any has a paid account. I'm still using the free account in order for us to like expand more. We can utilize Zoom only for 40 minutes for free, but in case if someone volunteers, then we can do a lot. So yeah, next will be, at least we need to get some descriptive statistics. So descriptive statistics, there are a lot of descriptive statistics. So I will just prepare this. I will just open this one, which was supposed to be for today's lesson, but I will quickly go to descriptive statistics. So we can mostly describe data in various forms. We can create some plots, we can do some summaries. So for example, plots, we can get a bar plot. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we have to switch to the other meeting, but then we will end up here because I have just gotten a message that I'm remaining with less than a minute. So everyone, let's meet at 5 sharp. I think we will continue from there. This is the disadvantage of using free things.
All right.
Yeah, sure. I have shared it on the WhatsApp. I think we can all get there at 5. Apologies for this.
No problem.
How many minutes before 5?
I think it will be 15. Right now, it's telling me less than a minute, but before 5, it will be 15 minutes. So we have to wait for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Sure. Apologies.
No problem. Yeah.